I'm about to switch up these
Sorry, guys.
No, take it easy.
Yeah, rest that voice for Idol Awards.
After K-pop Demon Hunters became the most watched animated film on Netflix, it's no surprise that talks of continuing the franchise began to circulate in the rumor mill. The instant hit is a fun watch for the entire family, and the creative minds behind the project poured so much love into it that it's hard not to feel their dedication and effort seeping through the screen. They did everything they could to deliver the best narrative possible with the perfect characters that made the story feel like a unique fantasy adventure, but also incredibly relatable to a broad audience. The bar for the sequel will be high, and fans will expect a film unlike any other, so today's video will speculate on how the second K-pop Demon Hunters might differ from the first.
I can't wait until every one of them is destroyed and sent back to suffer with Kima for eternity. Right, Rumi?
Number 1. Tone and mood. One of the reasons K-pop Demon Hunters has become so popular in record time is that it's stylistically unique, allowing it to stand out among other projects, making the characters, world, and story feel lighthearted and inspiring even during the harsher scenes. The narrative is about overcoming personal demons and surviving despite pain and adversity. That's a heavy topic, and on paper, one might expect the film to feel overburdened with philosophical discussions. That's not the case. Instead, there's the classic battle between good and evil, and how anyone, no matter their history, has the capability for both. In the end, we're all just people trying to get by, even if that means making mistakes and stumbling our way forward. We spend most of the story watching the antagonist win and the heroes fall apart. It's like no matter how hard Rumi tries to do the right thing, the odds are stacked against her. In those moments, it's all she can do to stand up and try again, even if she has frighteningly little left to give. In the end, Mira and Zoe resonate with her determination to try, and I believe the audience does too. The film ends on a lighter, triumphant note, and the acknowledgement that even bad days and negative emotions won't be the end of what's good about someone or their world. I believe the franchise might benefit from allowing some of these themes to carry into the sequel. But as Huntrix has already learned these lessons, we could receive a complete change in tone to accommodate new themes and character arcs.
Oh, right. We are hunters. Voices strong. Your faults and fears must never be seen.
Number 2. Story structure. Another way the film might shift to accommodate new arcs and subplots is by changing the story structure. The first film followed a relatively linear narrative, which switched between the perspectives of Rumi and Jinu. The decision to show us the personal stakes behind each of the protagonists' and antagonists' decisions meant that we didn't see Jinu as a villain, and that we could sympathize with Rumi whenever she made a mistake. It also allowed us to care for both sides of the conflict. As Rumi started to doubt her war with demon kind, we did too. Each time Jinu returned to the demon realm or interacted with Gima, we felt compelled to look a little closer. Which demons wanted to be there, and which did not? Unfortunately, Jinu giving his life to save Rumi at the end of the first film means his return in the sequel is a slim possibility. I know all of us want to see his return, but we have to admit that he won't come back as a demon, meaning the sequel won't require the same structure or storytelling approach to have the same emotional punch. Unless, of course, we get another villain who will parallel Jinu's former journey. Instead, we might receive one fluid film from the perspective of Huntrix, this time as they engage with a new threat or deal with Gima directly.
You know, you can tell me. I understand. I'm the only one who can.
Number 3. Character focus. Rumi and Jinu are the undisputed main characters of the first film. They have the most screen time and speaking roles, with their inner conflicts tying directly into the overarching narrative. Not to mention their romantic interests, which only makes their interactions more relevant to the story. We do spend time with some other characters and receive brief insights about them, but that's only directly tied to how they relate to Rumi and Jinu. Otherwise, they might not have played a significant role at all. The downside of having good supporting characters is that they will never have enough screen time. Fortunately for this franchise and its fanbase, though, Rumi and Jinu received complete character arcs the first time around. They overcame their inner conflicts, changed their perspectives, and grew as people. They also achieved their ultimate goals, meaning there's no real reason to continue their stories throughout the sequel. Instead, the narrative can shift to focus on another character, giving them the time they need to become fully realized. If the sequel does take this approach, then Mira or Zoe should become the next main character.
You made a mistake, Jinu.
It's not that simple.
But I am a mistake.
Number 4. Music in battle. One of the most challenging things when creating a fictional world is developing a unique magic system. With works of fiction, something is always inspired by something else, but I've found few films that use music like K-pop Demon Hunters. The way the hunters use the Hun Moon is also versatile and unique compared to other media. Not only is it a shield that they're constantly aware of, but they also pull their weapons from it, using it as a means to protect themselves from the demons they hunt. You'll notice that the Hun Moons surround Huntrix whenever they start a song mid-fight, like the lines on a music sheet, and they summon their weapons from those lines, not thin air. In this context, their voices and the songs they create act like a summoning spell for the Hun Moon, but the sequel might approach music differently. Now that Huntrix has created a new Hun Moon, it could have new rules. Demons might be stronger than before to slip through the cracks, and they might need to get creative if they're going to protect their fanbase. Personally, I'm a big fan of combat like in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where he plucks music notes out of the thin air to chuck at his opponent. In an art style found in K-pop Demon Hunters, a fight like that would be visibly stunning.
It was all a lie.
It was real. What we had was real. I know it was.
The things I said?
Number 5, the villain's role. One of the most significant changes between the two films is the role the villain will take. We know Guima is the overarching villain of the franchise and the big bad that all of demonkind will follow, but that's a role that will likely stay stagnant until he's defeated for good. In contrast, secondary antagonists can be much more fluid and malleable, capable of changing and evolving alongside the main narrative, like Jinu, who initially created the Saja Boys to take down Huntrix but ultimately betrayed them to protect Rumi and stop Guima. I don't think the sequel will give us another redeemable villain. That would be predictable, and while Rumi and Jinu didn't get a happy ending, I think the writers need to be a little bit more creative if they want to keep us entertained. I'm more intrigued by the idea of a good guy gone bad. It's possible that a previous hunter disapproves of the new Hun Moon and seeks to tear it down, which could only have catastrophic consequences.
I understand. You are weak, pathetic, useless. All of you!
Number 6, setting and scale. Celine is the only hunter we see throughout the first film, and while she could be the new antagonist that I proposed, I don't see the writers turning Rumi's mother against her. Instead, the sequel will likely focus on their damaged relationship and work on bridging the gap between them, so that Celine can work through her fears and accept Rumi for who she is. You know, the classic happy ending. Rumi already lost 2 parents, why should she lose another? However, reserving Celine for a supporting role means meeting a new hunter, which also means relocating to a new setting. For most of the film, Huntrix stays in one city where they square off against the Saja Boys and hordes of rampaging demons. In the sequel, they might go international, taking a tour around the world that puts them directly in the path of their newest enemy.
And Takedown isn't...
It's okay, Rumi.
We agree.
It's not the song that's gonna connect all her fans.
Number 7, Rumi's demon side. Last of all, we only got a taste of Rumi's demon side. Although she grew up with her markings, she doesn't access any of her powers until she's outed at the Idol Awards. As her shame and guilt reach new heights, she starts to change, obtaining some of the physical traits seen throughout the film in the Saja Boys. More importantly, she can also harm the Hun Moon with her rage and teleport on command. These powers were only used at the tail end of the film, when she needed to confront Guima, but now that she has access to them, they should be a focal point in the sequel.
You told me to cover up, to hide. Yes, until we can fix everything.
One of the most compelling parts of the original film was the way it managed to blend many of the aspects mentioned in the list. The tone and mood changed throughout the story. One of the villains constantly changed their role as it suited them. Rumi's relationship with her demonic powers evolved, and so much more. K-pop Demon Hunters might be a story for the whole family, but it doesn't hold back on the complex elements of storytelling and world building, which is what makes it so great. I hope we get to see the sequel test the boundaries that this franchise has to offer. What changes would you like to see in the sequel? Let us know in the comments section below.
That's the funny thing about hope. Nobody else gets to decide if you feel it. That choice belongs to you.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
You can be on this side when the Hun Moon is sealed. Away from the demon world, away from Guima.